Kicker for the Saints, Will Lutz, has it teed up, and here we go from New Orleans. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Got it. Check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. On the arm. On the arm. He's checking. He's checking. He's checking. Rock it.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, Heavy. What you got? Hey, let's go.
On second down, here's Locke. He'll rifle this one deep. It got his man complete. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Sammy Watkins, 74 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Let's go. Henry. 51. I'm coming.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And that's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Coming this way. Here we go. 51, Mike. Mike 51.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. He's going to air. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Locke to throw. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And the pressure gets to him again. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
On the ball.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10.
Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Get it roll. West.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
On 2nd down, Kamara trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early.
All week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Switch gears.
On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Hey, box truck.
From just shy of midfield, Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marcus Davenport, the 1st rounder out of UTSA with a sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Locke now on 1st down. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Locke going to throw. And an acrobatic catch there by Watkins. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints 14.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Ready? 18, Gator. I got 2 pop. Hey, Zoo. Mike's 56. Mike's 56. Cut.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. He completes this to Sutton. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 8-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now lock again. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
They'll try to run with Lindsay. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Broncos push further out in front. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down. Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they? We're to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. This will be taken at the 10. Call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, it could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Block will try again on 2nd down. Incomplete. This is Albert Wilson. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Hey, stand up.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. David Onyemata there on the tackle.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
March 47. Get that quarterback.
On On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
At the Saints' 19-yard line.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Under 10.
They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They look to throw. It's Locke toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for, but it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the 27. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead, but that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Now on 2nd and 13, Locke. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Locke now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Locke. Over the middle, complete. It's Beck. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working.
Faking the give to Lindsay. Here's Locke. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's go. Get off the field.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Block now to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Here we go. 5. 56 is the mic. Yo, get down.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by Todd Davis.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. After the sack on first down, Bridgewater, he'll air it out deep for... He's got a man, complete. Give him 32 on the play. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Duke Dawson picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
56. Mike's 56. All day, dog.
Lock to throw on second down. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Throwing his lock on third down. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. David Onyemata picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise. And it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Take four.
They'll run here with Lindsey. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
65.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Lock. This is caught. Watkins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Sammy Watkins, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Broncos push further out in front. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30.
At their own 28-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
From the 31, Bridgewater. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
The open man is Smith. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Now Bridgewater. And brought in by the tight end Cook. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Check. Crouch.
To the air again with Bridgewater. Being chased out left. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. To throw again on second down. Locke. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. The Broncos on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. He's got his tight end Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. Lock now. Half, first and 10. Lock now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. The Broncos on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 10.
47 is the mic. Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, check, let it go.
Locke looks to throw it again. Going deep here for Watkins. This is caught inside the 15. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, And I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Again, it's Locke. And this is caught by Watkins for a Bronco touchdown. Sammy Watkins with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Stays on his feet. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards the pickup there. This quarterback now 6 of 17 throwing the ball, only 35%. But he does have a 1st and 10. A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and a yard, Bridgewater escaping the pressure right. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Credit the sack to Von Miller. On 3rd and 1, here's Bridgewater. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 25-yard line. And my goodness, another interception. Duke Dawson picks it. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 41 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. On 2nd and 12, Locke flushed out right. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner, forget starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone from the 10-yard line in.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Here's Bridgewater. And he'll find Hall. He finds an opening past the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now a pass hauled in downfield. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. A big connection on that one. 43 yards. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it's 3rd down.
Hey, man, watch the boot. Watch on, shot. Check, where he goes?
They'll throw again, Bridgewater. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception. Wow.
You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong. Anytime you feel the kickoff inside your own end zone, you've got to be decisive about whether you're bringing it out or not. Sometimes that indecision can really cost you. That may have been what happened on that play.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for Denver, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.